Hi everybody and welcome to today's session, and today I want to talk to you guys about how we can naturally stop overswinging without having to do anything else than a simple setup change. Alright, you know me, your girl likes to keep it simple, so this tip is really centered around one slight change in your setup and has nothing to do with a ton of swing thoughts, nothing to do with being complicated as you're swinging, and it's just going to naturally stop your overswing. I mean, who doesn't want that? Even myself, I have had some times in my career where I just overswung and I look at the video and I'm like, how am I swinging so far? And then I'm trying to stop and not overswing, and I feel like I'm halfway back, but I'm still like halfway too far. So I feel you, I've been there, I've done that, and the best solution I can offer you is what I found out for myself, what I do for myself when I compete, when I play it. So this stuff works. Let's jump into it. All right, so the shoulder plane is the biggest piece here in this equation because the shoulder plane determines how you can actually turn. So let's talk about shoulder plane. So this is the shoulder plane that I'm talking about, and this is easier for you guys to see down the line here. So this shoulder plane, if I'm turning, it stays the same and it's a very flat shoulder plane, right? If I'm now tilting like I am in the golf swing and I'm now turning, see how that shoulder plane kind of goes a lot steeper. So a really steep shoulder plane is obviously this, where the club gets more, what is this, perpendicular, I think, to the ground. And then if you have a very flat shoulder plane, it would be this in the golf swing, where it's absolutely parallel to the ground. So we want to be right in the middle of those two, ideally. And what happens with a really, and I'm going to put this away because my walls need to be clean and not hit because we're moving, as you guys have figured that out. Maybe by the time you see this video, we've already moved, but right now we just fixed these walls. Now is not the time to hit them, Carolin. Not the time. So now when I show you the shoulder plane, if I'm just standing up straight, I can turn pretty far. I'm pretty flexible, but anybody really could. You guys try this. You can turn pretty far. Bending over, and I'm doing the same thing and I'm starting to turn really flat, I can also turn a lot more. And it really is, there's no resistance for me. I can turn, and if I added my hands here, I mean, my club would be, coming out here. So the first thing I want you to do to create the perfect setup with the perfect shoulder angle and shoulder plane is this. You stand up straight, and then you feel like you're bending and tilting your shoulders forward. We're not pushing our behind back, we're just moving our shoulders forward at the hip. See this? I'm turning, no, I'm not turning, I'm tilting. And now I'm gonna let my arms hang. And what this did is it actually moved my weight over the balls of my feet right here, which is perfect. It's exactly where you want it. You don't want it in your heels. When people struggle with too flat of a shoulder plane, what usually happens is they kind of sit back on their heels like this and they have a lot of bend in their knees, which we want to avoid, because now see how I'm kind of, if I do it the wrong way, see how upright I am here? And what does that do? It really allows me to do the wrong thing a lot easier and swing back in a really flat shoulder plane. So now that we've learned how to set up correctly first and how to get that tilt correctly, again, we're standing up and now we're actually bending the shoulders over, not the behind being pushed back, just bend your shoulders forward. And you're gonna feel that weight shift a little bit into the balls of your feet, like we said, hang the arms, perfect. Now, from here, we want to just tilt, get that left shoulder down, but feel like you're moving it over that right toe. So from my perspective, you can't see this from your perspective, but from the golfer's perspective and from your perspective in your swing, you will feel like that front shoulder, as you're getting it under your chin, is going to go over your trail foot. And that really helps us with the upper lower body separation. Let me show you this from face on right here. So we have our setup, we're tilting at the hip, not much knee bend. We have our weight in the balls of our feet. And now we're tilting and turning at the same time. So the turn comes from the feeling of getting your lead shoulder over your trail foot. And the tilt comes from feeling like you're doing it by rotating the shoulder under. So it's under the chin, but over that trail foot. And that's the perfect shoulder rotation right here. And I'm keeping this foot pretty braced. If you can see, it's pretty braced into my hip. Now my hips turned about 45 degrees, my shoulders are turned 90, and that's going to naturally stop your overswing because we're not built, our spines are not built to do this excessively if we are in that correct angle and setup. So again, not much knee bend at the hip, shoulders over, weight in the balls of your feet right here. And now we're feeling like we're getting that left shoulder, that lead shoulder under and over that trail foot. And here we go. Honestly, there's no way I'm going to turn any further. I can't. Like, this is going to take my back out if I tried. And this is all you need. This is a full turn. And you're gonna feel so much tension. You're gonna feel so much good resistance, good tension, not bad tension. But some people are gonna have to get used to this because they're usually like, loop-de-doo, this is great. I can take the club back so far. You don't wanna do this. So make sure you go through that super simple setup change and it's gonna stop your overswinging naturally. Nothing else that needs to be doing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is an awesome, awesome tip. I love this. It's really simple. It's all the big muscles. We want to make sure we focus on the big muscles, on the core, on the shoulders, not the arms, because, you know, these guys aren't creating the motions. The arms are attached to the body. In an ideal case, that is the case. And we want to make sure that we're changing the big muscles. So try it out next time. Let me know in the comments below how you liked it and how it changed your swing. I'm sure it will. And we're going to stop that overswinging and we're actually going to gain yardage with that. I see you guys next time.